Well, oftentimes in college hoops, it comes down to the last minute to decide a game, and that's exactly what happened here at Wells Fargo Arena as the Sun Devils fell to the Stanford Cardinal 84-83. Hi, everybody, and welcome into Wells Fargo Arena. I'm Blaine McCormick. He's Jordan Kaye in for HouseOfSparky.com's recap of the ASU basketball game that just happened here. Like I said, last minute. That's what decides a college hoops game. It's mostly the thrill of the game. Always takes longer than a minute, though. and what definitely happened in this game, it took a long time. What can you tell me about what happened in that sequence of events in the last few minutes?
Well, ASU should have never really been in this game. They were down 19, but eventually they start clawing their way back, and then in the last minute, they all of a sudden have just a wide open opportunity to at least tie the game, if not go ahead. In that final minute, though, Cody Justice did miss 3 of 4 free throws. Each time he went to the line with a chance to tie the game. But we saw, too, Dorian Pickens for Stanford miss both of his free throws in the last minute. As Bobby Hurley was saying after the game, there's a lot of pressure on these guys. But after that, ASU, they kind of force something in at the last second, but then they get the ball back on a missed inbounds from Stanford. And then all of a sudden, 4 seconds left, they got the ball back. This is, for senior day, this is a storybook script that everyone was ready to write. All the journalists up there they were getting their leads all set up with the senior day quotes. And then all of a sudden, ASU, Shannon Evans dribbles around, can't find anything, tries to heave it over to Remy Martin at the last second. No dice, and ASU falls. But just a lot of missed opportunities, free throws being one of them, and then just not being able to hit those shots just right when they needed them.
I want to expand on that senior because you talked about him a lot, Cody Justice. We've talked about him a lot in these post-game shows and even in the press conference as well. He was very sad, and you could just see it on his face during that press conference. Very, sad that it's his last home game, but also it's his last senior game, but they still have a little bit to go. What can you talk about with Cody Justice and how he performed today compared to some of his games previously this season?
Well, to miss those last 3 free throws and then come into the media room by yourself and answer questions, you got to give the guy as much respect. To be able to do that, he's a hometown kid, wanted to get it done on senior night. But overall, he had a pretty solid game. He had the big 3 right before those free throws to really put ASU in a position to where they could grab the lead. He was really good in the first half, and he's one of those guys that if he can get hot, ASU's going to keep feeding him the ball.
Now, looking ahead, the Sun Devil season, it's not over yet. They still have the Pac-12 Tournament to participate in. That'll be held in Las Vegas, Nevada. What is their main strategy going into this Pac-12 Tournament? Because it seems as though the last couple of games, they've looked pretty lethargic out on the court. What's the new energy that Bobby Hurley really needs to convey to these guys?
Well, Hurley said, because we saw that energy that I think they wanted to want to get every game against Cal on Thursday. Today, Hurley said that he thinks that senior day really took a lot out of him and a lot out of his players. But first game Pac-12 tournament, they're going to be playing Colorado. They've gone 1-1 against the Buffaloes. They're really trying to go into it with a lot of confidence, which I guess is good. And they think they have the NCAA tournament. They're looking onto that. Not looking onto it, but saying they're not thinking about not making it. I know there's a lot of people on Twitter and Facebook who are already ready to pencil the Sun Devils into the NIT, but Hurley and company think that they have a pretty good chance of making the NCAA tournament. And I think with a win against Colorado in that first round, I think that just about locks it up. But they're going to try and come out with a lot of confidence, come out shooting, and really try and not come out lethargic and get into a big hole like they did today.
Well, like you just said, the old saying goes, confidence is key, and that's what the Sun Devils need as they head into the Pac-12 tournament later on this season. The last home game for the Sun Devils today at Wells Fargo Arena, like Jordan mentioned, senior night, lots of emotions and an emotional finish to this game as well as the Sun Devils once again fall 84-83 to the Stanford Cardinal. I want to thank you for joining us all season long for our post-game video recaps and also reading all of our stuff on HouseOfSparky.com. He's Jordan Kaye. I'm Blaine McCormick signing off for the last home game this season at Wells Fargo Arena. Thanks again, folks.